I'm making my statement on behalf of the leader of my government's delegation, who is the Honorable Minister of Health, Honorable Kumbo Kachali. Mr. Chairman, you who are the Secretary General's Special Envoy to stop TB, Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my delegation would like to congratulate you for organizing this Global Leaders Forum on HIV-TB due to the devastating effects of these pandemics to humanity. The sub-Sahara region bears the highest burden due to HIV prevalence. With about 25% of the region's population, the SADC sub-region alone contributes about 50% of the notified cases. While the true magnitude of drug resistance to second-line anti-TB drugs, extensively drug-resistant TB, XDR-TB, were reported in the region for the first time during 2006, most of the cases were co-infected with HIV. Having said this, I am pleased to inform this forum that Malawi declared TB an emergency on the 22nd March 2007, and it was the 14th country to do such a declaration in the Africa region. This was after realizing that tuberculosis continues to be a major public health program in the country. Malawi used to report only 5,000 cases of tuberculosis before 1985, but this has increased sixfold since then. In 2007 alone, the country reported a total of 28,000 cases. This is mainly due to the HIV epidemic. The rate of TB-HIV co-infection in Malawi is estimated to be about 69%. In response to the declaration, Malawi has undertaken a number of initiatives with the aim of attaining the Millennium Development Goals targets. These initiatives include, firstly, initiation of a new nationwide effort to improve early access to diagnosis of tuberculosis by mobilizing communities to recognize that tuberculosis symptoms early, submit sputum specimens to sputum collection centers in their communities. Additionally, expansion of the sputum smear microscopy network through decentralization of the services into health centers, where health surveillance assistants are being trained in performing sputum smear microscopy. Thirdly, countrywide expansion and decentralization of HIV-TB collective activities, ensuring access to HIV/AIDS care for all HIV-positive tuberculosis patients, including antiretroviral treatment, and access to TB prevention and care for all HIV-positive individuals. Fourthly, development of nationwide public-public and public-private mixed dots, meaning that the international standard of tuberculosis care as promoted by Stop TB will be disseminated and applied in the private sector. This responds to the need to involve all care providers in quality-assured tuberculosis care. Additionally, development of a maintenance of surveillance system on drug-resistant TB, including multi-drug-resistant and extensively drug-resistant tuberculosis. By this, it addresses the call for the World Health Organization to put mechanisms in place for the early detection of extensively drug-resistant tuberculosis. And lastly, my country is also executing tuberculosis surveillance prevalence survey, which will provide National Tuberculosis Program with the most precise estimate of tuberculosis burden, and thus qualify and quantify much more precisely the current supposed gap in case detection. Findings of this survey will inform the future strategies of National Tuberculosis Program in closing up the presumed case detection gap. Within the framework of HIV-TB collection activities, Malawi has so far managed to test 64% of TB patients for HIV. 69% of these turn out to be positive. Almost 90% of all HIV-positive patients are put on cotrimoxazole preventive therapy, while about 40% started on antiretrovirals. I also believe that this forum will provide all the energy and charisma for the right way to move forward to aggressively address the HIV/AIDS/TB co-infection by use of existing tools for an immediate impact, while stimulating research and development to develop the tools that can support our vision to become a reality. The reality is...
Sorry, could you come to the end?
I'm wrapping up,
It's
sir.
very long and we won't get the other speakers in.
The reality is to achieve the Millennium Development Goals related to The reality is to achieve the Millennium Development Goals related to tuberculosis and to HIV/AIDS. Mr. Chairman, Malawi therefore joins the rest of the world to call this for an action for HIV/TB. Finally, let me thank you for providing me with this floor to speak at this plenary. Thank you very much.
Thank you.